I'm Max. I'm from the Gold Coast in Australia. A little bit about me and the business is I actually started it over here in the UK. I was halfway through uni and realized I was doing a degree I had zero fucking interest in, doing sports science. So moved over to here and kind of started doing this part-time, hence the name Down Under Dog Train. I was just known as the Aussie dude who could train dogs pretty well. So I thought that'd be a decent name. When I moved back to Australia, it's kind of a dumb fucking name, but it's stuck now. Like, yeah, of course you're Down Under, whatever. When I moved back, like Jacob said, sometimes you just got to put yourself in that negative reinforcement state. And I just chose, rather than go home and hand out CVs or go back to a job I knew I could do, I just started throwing myself in the deep end. I'm not going to get employed. I'm just going to go fucking balls deep with this. And I'm really glad I did. Because I think if I'd done the safe bet and done it part-time, I probably would have done that for a good few fucking years. Yeah, I've just grafted for the last 3, 4, 5 years pretty hard. And we're in a pretty good stage now. And yeah, we've got a business that lets my wife and I live a pretty fucking awesome lifestyle, not gonna lie. I'd say I get just as much of a kick out of providing people with their dream job. We've got a couple of trainers with a couple more coming on board, admin staff that work from home. And honestly, when we talked earlier about purpose and why you want to do it, definitely don't want to be a fucking loser. Definitely want to make an impact on as many dogs' lives as possible. But doing that now, like letting people join an industry they thought they weren't going to be able to do and all that sort of shit is just the fucking best. So yeah, very grateful. But anyway, some random little things that I've learned, some things that haven't been spoken about too much, hopefully. So hopefully I'm not just repeating everyone, is number one of the things I did early that allowed us to grow much quicker. You know, we entered an existing market with people that were much bigger than us, but we overtook them quite quickly, was bringing on an admin like very fucking early. I reckon 6 months into it, I noticed my days were pretty full. Our thing was 7, 7, 7, 7 a.m., 7 p.m., 7 days a week. And we filled that up pretty fucking quickly, which means I'd either go home and just work till 9, 10 o'clock in the night, or I just wouldn't get shit done. And I noticed pretty quickly that I put a cap on my own earnings going, well, I'm making a lot of money, but I'm basically just owning my dream job and this isn't scalable. Like I can't work any fucking more than I am and we're starting to lose clients, not messaging. So, you know, as dog trainers, we make pretty fucking good hourly rates, even the cheap ones. And if your hourly rates here, an admin is down here in Australia. So it was good. I was able to get an admin on board and all that nurturing and things like that and all those little tasks I wasn't able to do allowed us to just scale much, much quicker than people. People were like, fuck, how do you get onto everything? I was like, well, we outsource that work. So from the get-go, like even if you're only a year or two into it, like our admin was only doing 5 or 10 hours a week, but those 5 or 10 hours a week were huge. A few of the boys with kids spoke about work-life balance. It was 5 or 10 hours I'd have with my partner and family and shit like that. And that one changed the game for us pretty early on. Number 2, something that Adam Brodian said was respect your time and sanity. Like you guys have said, you're driving an hour here, an hour there. There'd be days where I'd go from, for anyone who knows Australia, Byron to Brisbane in a day. That's like starting in Leeds, going to Manchester, going over to Grimsby, back to Leeds. Like it was just fucking insane. And we all do that shit. We take the piss out of ourselves early on because we think, oh, well, you know, people push back on us a little bit. But the moment you stand firm and go, no, like on this day, I'm in here, come see me or fuck off. Like it's amazing. People just do it. So early on, like I know it's really easy to say yes to everything, but just stop taking the mick out yourself. Say where you're going to be, tell people to come to you, and even if you don't have a location, like that's fine. We just find a spot, pick it, and we train there for the day. Spend a lot more time training dogs, a lot less time in the fucking car. Like you said, 4 hours a day sometimes. Like it's mental. And I know like Australia's pretty big, but same with the UK. Like you can just be driving down little fucking country roads like this all fucking day. So that one. Number 3 I wrote down was a bit of like old school networking. Like I'm big on digital marketing and that's definitely helped us grow and I'm learning so much from this course. But one thing I think that's really helped us grow is we network with just your physical resale stores, like your pet shops, your vets, your groomers, your daycares. I don't have much respect for dog daycares, as I'm sure we all do. They're a bit of a cesspit. But they're such a fucking good lead generator. It's insane. And for whatever reason, people trust their opinion. This 14-year-old kid working behind Pet Barn selling your kibble, people go to for dog training advice. So if you can partner up with them and get them referring you, it's insane how much business we get from physical retail stores. Oh, so-and-so at dog daycare I've never even fucking heard of recommended you or whatever. So we started getting a lot of those, which meant we really honed in on it. And there's always something that you can give back to them. Like we incentivize pet stores by going, your best performing staff member every month gets a free session with us or joins one of our group courses or shit like that. And then you got a whole staff team referring you. Then you go to vets and you're like, I can make your clients better to deal with, just send them our way. And it's really good. And it's kind of insane to go into these places and see how many people are not doing it. They're like, oh, we've been here 5 years and no one's ever stopped in. So it's a bit of an untapped thing that I think people are overlooking. People are so focused on digital marketing that I think people are overlooking some of the basic stuff. So I definitely recommend that. Another one, definitely switch your focus from being the best possible dog trainer. And I know Jacob's touched on that a lot lately. Switching more to like being on business. I think you said earlier, and everyone thinks they need to be this fucking good and be Michael Ellis to be the best possible seller, but you really don't. Like, you really only need to get to a stage where you can solve problems for the average person and you're good. And definitely I'd say our growth was stalled for a couple of years there because I was so hell-bent on spending every fucking weekend at a different seminar or buying a different course. And it was just insane. And it just fueled my own, imposter syndrome. The more courses I did, the more aware I was that I wasn't fucking, helmet raiser or whatever. And it was just fucking crazy. And I was like, oh, damn. But then you realize like you don't have to be that good. And some of the best trainers I've ever seen are these random old dudes in the back of Germany, and they sadly make fuck all, but they're twice as good as any of us. And it wasn't until I started looking at people on the best-selling authors list, and they're not Shakespeare, they're just people that are selling the most books. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still obviously wanting to get better, open to get better and trying, but it's just definitely not my main focus anymore. I'm good enough to solve most people's problems really fucking well. And that's the business I'm in. I'm not interested in dealing with the top 1%. Last couple of things was systemize and simplify your training order scale. I'm sure a lot of people can relate, but the first few years, it took me a long time to bring on another trainer, even though we had the demand for it, because I was like, oh, I can't get what's in my head over to a person. It was just this fucking clusterfuck of information and all these little nuances. Well, if this dog comes, only I know to do this, blah, 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 blah. And it was almost this arrogance one where I was like, people don't know what I know, I can't train it. But also it was very much reflective of like my mad, just crazy ADHD personality where everything's like this and it's a mess in my head. But it was dumb because it meant if it's a mess in my head, trying to get it over to clients is tough, but also trying to train up a staff member was shit. So actually spending a solid week and writing down our systems and processes, stupid shit like that meant it's heaps easier to train a staff member, heaps easier to then put it into curriculum, heaps easier for people to remember. And now it's pretty easy to onboard a new dog training staff member. We got 2 in the works at the moment getting trained up, and it's a lot simpler because I don't need to do this like 6 or 12 month shadow program with me. It's like tag along for a few weeks, get used to our messaging, consume XYZ curriculum, and you can solve, again, basic fucking problems. Can you teach lead walking our way? Sweet. Can you teach this our way? Sweet. So the more we systemize, that really helped. And very last thing, something Magdalena said earlier that really resonated is like, I think Abby said it as well, is just be authentic. There was definitely a period with our social media, I tried to be very polite and this and that. And I started attracting the most ball-ache fucking clients. The people that would reach out expected that of me. So all day when I'd be like, oh, thank you for having me. Like, I really appreciate it. Like, that sort of stuff was fucking exhausting, man. I'd go home and just have a million cunts to let out of my mouth. And I'd be like, what the fuck's wrong with it? I'd go home with like Tourette's from just like holding it in all day. So at some point, being authentic and just speaking the way I speak on the channel, don't get me wrong, like, there's definitely people that are gonna walk away and go like, ew, like that's profane. But I'm sure like a lot of us here, like if you're offended by the word cunt, you've come to the wrong place. The people that resonate with it, which is clearly probably 99% of the room, is like really resonate. They go, oh, thank fuck, like you're not a crazy uptight weirdo. I can just be myself and really explain around it. Because as you know, sitting there in a consult, people go, my dog's just such a prick. Yeah, prick. And it's cool. And I've noticed definitely like, yeah, I enjoy my job role a whole lot more since I just embrace that rather than trying to be a prick. That's kind of what I've learned from the course and along the way. Hopefully there was something useful in that for you. But thank you for having me to chat. Appreciate it.